All right, today's lesson, 5th grade, is number 13, make a monochromatic work of art. Monochromatic means one color. So like in this example that's in the notebook, it's sort of like red, but any colors of red, dark red, burgundy, scarlet, raspberry, brick red, pink. So you can see how this person has drawn their guitar and then sort of used a ruler to break up it into sections. You can make whatever you want. It obviously doesn't have to be a guitar. If you would look at monochromatic work, like this example, you'll notice this is all shades of blue, light blues all the way through dark blue. So it's only one color, but it's been lightened and darkened. If you are going to make a lighter color, it's called a tint. When you add white to lighten your color, it's called a tint. So you can see how these have all had white added to them, and it makes the work a much lighter look to it. Another way to do monochromatic is to make shades of that color. And so obviously black has been added to these artworks or these colors. And so you can see how it is a much different look when you add a shade versus a tint. Okay, so when you choose what you're going to make for your work, I have decided to kind of make this, well, it looks sort of like a stained glass window. I drew it out. You're going to need to gather all your supplies for painting. So I've already done that. My water, my paper towel, my brush, my palette, my black and white paints. Now you can pick whatever color you want. I picked purple because it's one of my favorite colors really. And so I'm going to use the purple that is in the bottle, like straight out of the bottle. Didn't add any white, didn't add any black. And I'm going to paint a few spaces with that first. All right, so now I have created my just normal hue. The hue means the regular color, okay? So I went ahead and painted in several spots with that color, washed my brush, and now I'm ready to make my first tint of the color. When you're putting paint into your palette, don't ever pick these up and pour them in because you will overfill and spill. So you always want to just take your brush, take a little scoop out, and go ahead and put it in there and go ahead and mix it inside of this little circle. You don't want it so full that you can't stir it without it coming out and over the edges. So just take a couple of scoops, wash your brush between colors. I had already done that after I put some purple in this and washed it really well and dried it. And now I'm just taking one scoop of the white basically with my brush and mixing it in. So I'm going to make my very first tint of light purple. It's sort of a lilac color, but not quite. So you're going to use that color and wherever you want. I'm trying to think about where I'm placing colors because obviously I don't want the dark purple touching other dark purples and the light purple touching the same light purple, or I will lose the lines that I have divided my paper into, my sections. So that's the only thing, is you kind of have to think about where you're going to place these colors because you only have, you know, this one color to work with. It's not like I can switch to blue over here. So just keep that in mind when you're working. And another thing I will point out is I kind of try to just outline around the edges of whatever shape I'm going to do first, and then I go back and fill in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few spaces with this lighter purple, and then I'll be back. All right, what I'm going to do next after I've painted my light surfaces, and I did go back and put another coat of just the regular purple on top of these two spaces just because I felt like they needed them. They were kind of getting dry and you could see the paper coming through. So I just put another coat on top. So to move forward on the tints, I'm going to go ahead and take this same color I've already made, but I'm going to add more white to it. So I'm going to give a generous scoop of white again, and then I'm going to stir it up really well again. You want to make sure you do not see any white or any purple streaks in it when you get done. So you really want to make sure you mix it in completely. And you'll make an even lighter shade, or I'm sorry, a lighter tint. You'll make an even lighter tint after you've made that first one. So this one will be a lot lighter than the one I just made. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this lighter one in some of my spaces, and then I'll be back again. Okay, I'm ready for a shade now. So I'm going to take my purple again and add several scoops of the purple in. All right, so I've got that in my palette, and then I've washed and dried my brush. So I'm going to take some black, and I'm going to be real careful with this black because this could turn black real quick because it's the darkest color, it's such a dark color, it could overpower this purple pretty quickly. So I'm not gonna put a big healthy scoop like I did with the white. I'm just gonna darken it some and see how it looks. And then I can always add more if I want, or if I think it needs it. I don't wanna take too much and then, you know, I can't take it back out. So I'm just gonna make sure that I don't put too much in the first round. And it looks fairly good, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this dark purple and put it into a couple of spaces. Okay, I almost forgot to turn the camera back on. So I used up a lot of what I just mixed with that darker color, so I went ahead and put some more purple in here, and I'm gonna put a lot more black in this time. I really got more of a scoop instead of just a dip of black, and I'm gonna go ahead and stir up some new darker, even darker than what I just made, so hopefully I don't go too dark, but we're gonna mix that up really well, and then I'm gonna finish up my painting and show you the final product. So I just got this off the drying rack, finished my tracing around my pencil lines and over the edges of the paint to kind of clean it up and finish my monochromatic painting.